Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Fire Emblem Blazing Sword. In today's episode we are starting off with Chapter 26, Battle Before Dawn. And I believe I mentioned that toward the end of last episode that this is going to be a pretty challenging one. Mostly because there's so much left up to chance. Thankfully I don't think that will be as big of a deal through an Elowood normal run as it would have been in, say, Hector hard mode. So I don't think we'll have that much difficulty, to be totally honest with you. But just be prepared in case anything really bad happens and I don't want to have to deal with it. You'll see here I did swap out Urk for Pent simply because Pent stats are just already really good. I don't have to worry about babying him to make him usable. And he already comes with that A rank in Staves, which is incredibly valuable. So we are going to be sticking with Pent as our anima/staff user for the rest of the game. Sorry if that bothers some of you. I simply couldn't deal with Urk not getting magic anymore. His defense would have been fantastic. In fact, I guess he's more suited for frontline combat than a lot of my frontline fighters in a couple of different ways. Simply because his HP turned out really good, and so did his defense. But alas, that is not enough to save him, so that being said, we're just going to move on and kind of forget it all happened. Let's put it that way. So I know it's against conventional wisdom to divide my forces. I know they say never split the party, but guess what? I'm doing that. There's two ways in. Might as well make use of them. You'll see we have Merlinus here now as a cart that can move around with us, which is cool, I guess, but ultimately not terribly necessary. But, you know, I'm not going to complain. So you'll see we have Jafar down here all by his lonesome. And he is going to absolutely shred everything that comes near him. That being said, he will not shred things that he cannot retaliate against, namely archers, mages, and I don't think he has to deal with anybody that has Reaver-type weapons. At least not in this particular version of the map. So here we have Zephiel waking up after getting clobbered by Jafar last time. We're under attack. Zephiel's actually a really smart kid. So Jafar will go on a killing spree now. I don't have his animations turned on, so I'm sorry about that. You know what? I think for the time being what I'm going to do, because I want you guys to see what he can do, we're going to turn animations on so that you can see Jafar during combat, because he does occasionally do something really cool. So this is Jafar, by the way. We're looking at Jafar's stats, and now you understand why he is called the Angel of Death. He is absolutely terrifying to fight against. Thankfully, we don't have to. He's a green unit, he's on our side, so he is not something we have to worry about dealing with. That being said, he's a promoted assassin. Assassins are promoted thieves, I should say. His HP is not all that great to look at, but everything else is absolutely incredible. 19 strength, I believe he's 1 point off from capping that. And he's got a decent growth in it, too, so all he needs is one stat up in strength and he's maxed out. Skill and speed both in the mid-20s, which is incredible. No stat goes over 30, so that's pretty close to being capped as well. His defenses are not too shabby either, especially considering he's a very nimble, agile character. He's got a killing edge. His crit rate's 42%. Nothing too shabby at all. If he had S rank in swords, that'd be 47%, but that's alright. So he'll shred everything that comes near him. We have Zephiel in here on his own. You'll see we have that little blue diamond symbol on him, meaning he's target we need to protect. Zephiel, not very impressive in terms of combat abilities, except for that resistance for some reason. So he can't really take hits. He's not meant to anyway. You're supposed to protect him, but he does have a silver sword, and he can dish out damage pretty well. He just won't survive more than 1 or 2 encounters, so we need to get down there as quick as we can. Needless to say. And then over here we have Nino, who is also a green unit. Nino is a level 5 mage. She's unpromoted, and she comes very, very late in the game. We can recruit her. I'm going to, simply because I don't see any reason not to. So a lot of people will say that Nino isn't worth training because she's level 5, and you're at level chapter 26 already. What's the point? You've already got Urk or Pent probably for anima users. Even if you don't, somebody in your team's going to have magic. She just doesn't quite cut it. unfortunately, because it's the late time. She does, however, come with C rank and tomes and can already use L-Fire, which is nice, but one of the things I like to do, I'm not going to do it this playthrough simply because I'm just not going to bother with it, but I really do like training Nino. She's actually very gratifying to use. She does come at a very late level, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, if you're willing to put the effort into training her, she becomes an absolute beast. Like, I'm talking Raven-level beast. She's phenomenal, and by far the best of the 3 sages that you get in this game. So I'm actually going to support Ellawood and Ninian because this is going to be their A support. I've been waiting for this for a little while. I would have thought I've had it by now, actually. Why the long face? She has some inferiority issues here. So she admits she's keeping something, but she can't say what it is, and Ellawood doesn't care. Aww. What if your secret is something really atrocious, like she like eats people or something, like, Lord Ellawood, secretly, I feast on children in the evening. Oh, that's okay, I still love you. What? But because Ellawood is, like, I think canonically 17, he's never seen a woman before, or never met a woman he was this smitten with. And Ninian doesn't really know how to react. It actually is really cute, their romance together, to be honest with you. And then I think these two are actually the canon pairing. And canonically, Ninian is the mother of Roy from Fire Emblem 6. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I do believe that is the canon pairing. You know what? I want to show off how awesome bolting is, just because it's so much fun. So we're going to take out this mage. I don't want him dealing with anybody else, so get a load of this nonsense. And this is a testament to how wonderful Pent is, too, by the way, that he's capable of just one-shotting fellow mages with a long-range lightning bolt. I didn't want him hitting Legald anyway. Although I will say, this particular fighter here has a Sword Slayer. So, Sword Slayers are different from regular old Sword Reavers in one particular aspect. They still reverse weapon triangle, and so they're still good against swords. And they still double the weapon triangle bonuses. However, they are also effective against Myrmidons and Swordmasters. So, in the same way that a hammer or a heavy spear is effective against an armor knight, or a horse slayer is effective against a mounted unit, sword slayers absolutely wreck swordmasters and myrmidons. And actually, upon Lyn promoting, she is considered a swordmaster effectively, so it is also effective against her. I don't believe it's effective against her yet, but it will be. So we are going to use Florina to ruin this guy's day. And she should be able to take that other fighter relatively easily as well. Now you'll see I've deployed Heath on this map, but he's not promoted yet because we're going to get the promotion item on this map. And I could have left him behind and promoted him after the chapter and gotten an extra slot, but honestly, the only other person I would have brought is Wallace, and quite frankly, he's just a little too slow for this map. He can't get up and going fast enough to get him where I need to go, so I chose to leave him behind. That being said, he's going to become very, very useful in the chapters ahead, because his ability to tank loads and loads of damage and take nothing in return is going to be incredibly valuable when I need to start guarding choke points and all that sort of fun stuff. So he will be part of a main part of the roster very soon. And you'll see I'm just kind of bottlenecking my whole team here because there's no real effective way to do this. Here's that mini boss guy that Ursula was giving commands to, by the way. And we see Jafar do a really, really cool animation. Oh, he doesn't actually kill him. Look at that. That guy's a silver lance, too. It's a little scary. I will say that Maxime guy, he's like a sub-boss, kind of like Cameron was in the Dragon's Gate. He's a promoted paladin that has a name, but he's... Oh, did you see that? So what Jafar just did there was not a regular old critical. That was called a silencer critical, in where, like, you'll see his sprite kind of shakes, like, side to side, like, vibrates for a second. And then when he lands the crit, you see those big purpley colored, purpley red like bursts in the background. That's how you know a silencer has happened as opposed to a regular critical hit. And I really should not have put Priscilla in the front line like that. That being said, what a silencer is, it does not simply do triple damage like a normal crit does. It instantly kills whatever you're hitting it with. Assassins have that very unique ability to instantly kill people, regardless of their defense, regardless of their remaining HP. And only assassins can do that. It's very nice. That being said, Jafar typically will not need to use silencer, because he'll just outright murder things anyway. But for someone, like, you can promote Legalt and Matthew into assassins, and they'll get the same ability. And it's very nice on them because they tend to have nowhere near the level of strength that Jafar does. So if you decide you want to use one of the two of them over Jafar as an assassin, which personally I don't recommend, they never tend to turn out as good as he does, but Jafar is arguably the best pre-promote in this game besides Pent, so... But if you did want to use one of the two of them, having them use Silencer is very nice because it will occasionally allow you to kill the thing that comes at you when you otherwise would not have been able to. And this is a mistake on Jafar's part. He's foregoing his defensive advantage to get an easy kill on an archer. There's a regular crit. You'll notice his sprite did not vibrate first and there was no bursts in the background. And I believe the chance to land a Silencer critical is about half the percentage chance of scoring a normal critical. Correct me if I'm wrong on that too. I don't know that for certain. I believe it's that way in other games where assassins have that ability, and I'm fairly certain it's the same way in this one. But that being said, you saw Jafar's critical rate was about 42% with that killing edge, so therefore his silencer rate is about 21%. So about a 1 in 5 chance of instantly killing whatever he's fighting. Minus their luck stat, which in this game most enemies tend not to have any luck at all, or if they do, very little. What I was saying about Maxime there, by the way, before I was interrupted by the uber instant kill, he is a sub-boss, and he normally is not right there in front of Jafar and fighting him in the... Well, I guess normally in this case he is, but in Hector mode, he's parked up right about here, I think, next to these stairs, and he's got okay stats for a promoted paladin mini-boss character, but in Hector hard mode, his stats are way higher than this. Like, I'm talking in the range of, like, he's got, like, 20 strength and 18 skill and 18 speed, that kind of... He's a little bit more ridiculous than that, and for a lot of that reason, it's very difficult sending your units down here to reinforce Jafar to avoid him getting killed, because you'll have to deal with Maxime first, and he'll ruin your day if you're not careful, so... That's another fun little aspect to have to deal with. We're going to take care of this enemy hero, I think, with Mr. Raven. Actually, Mr. Raven can't even kill him. So I think in that regard, we're just going to use Lucius instead, because I bet you... Man, he's fast. Can Dart double hit him? No, he cannot. In fact, he barely has a chance to hit him. So I tell you what, we are going to use Raven, but... I double with an iron sword. It's not fantastic, but it's something. Let's make it happen. There's a chance I'll crit him. That'd be nice. Not likely, but you never know. Hero versus hero, and you'll see that Raven looks a little different than a normal hero sprite. He has like a long jacket on his sprite instead of like armor, and he doesn't have those neat shoulder pauldrons that these generic heroes have. You can see it in their little art design there too. I really do like those shoulder pauldrons. I think they look really cool, and I'm kind of sad that Raven doesn't have them. There is one other hero you can get in this game, and he does have the really cool shoulder pauldrons, and I'm a little sad we didn't get him, but when I play through Hector, we'll use him instead, because he's actually really, really good. He's definitely in the top rungs of best pre-promote units, alongside Pent and Jafar, so... I'm not going to spoil who he is or where he comes from or anything. You'll have to wait and see when I get to that point. It's going to be a while, I know, but... if you're interested, then feel free to sit around and wait for that. I'm going to have... Oh, she doesn't have a bloody vulnerary. That's alright. To be honest, I'm not really using her for that effect anyway, so as long as I keep her out of range, she should be fine. I just did a goof and put her in front that last time. And it occurred to me, if she hadn't dodged that mercenary, she'd have been in big trouble. Alright, so... let's get Lynn some experience. She hasn't killed anything in a while. And she crits. I dare say that's a pretty great way to hit level 20. Alright, more strength. I'm never going to complain about Lyn getting strength. And Nino doesn't really need the help against this monk. But I am going to get down there as quick as I can, so... And I gotta be careful because, as I mentioned in the end of last video, Ursula's right about here, I think. Right here, in fact. And she doesn't move, but she does have a bolting tome. So if I go right there, or anywhere within that range, then I'll get hit by lightning, so I gotta be careful. And Ursula is no slouch. She's one of the Four Fangs, and she tends to hit like a truck. So I'm gonna be careful. And try to avoid her as best I can. Does anybody need healing? Not really. Man, Pent is just wonderful. Alright, so now that Ellawood and Nini have reached their A support, I don't need to keep the two of them necessarily glued at the hip any longer. So I can send Ellawood a little further forward because he's the one I need to recruit Nino. So, you know, I probably could turn the animations back off for them now that you've seen Jafar do Silencer. But, you know, it's actually kind of fun to watch him kill everything. He's probably going to get hit right here, though. Yep, there he goes. And as you might imagine, he can't really take more than one or two of those. In fact, I don't want to let him get hit again, so... Man! That guy lands at 58, but he misses twice on 64? That's not cool. I probably should have put Pent on the left side so he could physic Jafar if he needed it. But I think we're going to be... He's going to thin a lot of this herd out on his own. And I'll be able to get near him and reinforce him, hopefully, here pretty quick. Actually, on his turn, because he's been hit, his AI behavior will probably make him run away and use an elixir, rather than go hunting some more. I don't know what the HP threshold for doing that is, but I know it's less than half, and he's less than half right now, so... He probably will run away and try to heal himself. And thankfully he has the elixir, otherwise he'd be really in trouble. That's going to be a problem, because he's standing on the thing that he was going to stand on, probably, to heal himself. He's probably going to run back into the middle of the room off to the right there to heal, if he can't go on top of the pillar. The AI behavior is to just run away as far as possible and then heal yourself, so... You'll see, Nino will three-hit kill this monk, so... What was that? Door just opened? Yep, he's going to run away and heal. So, he can take another... Oh, look at that! The nice thing about Jafar is that even though he's a promoted thief, he still retains his increased Fog of War sight range. So we can see this enemy thief that just opened this door. So that thief's going to go for this treasure room almost certainly. And we need to get down there. I could just send... Well... I'll move Priscilla down first. We can see what's in the way, and I'll have Lucius heal her on the way down. Okay, so the enemy density... I know I keep saying this, but the enemy density is not looking anywhere near like it's as bad as I'm expecting it to be, so... We'll probably be fine. And this won't be an especially long episode like I was expecting it to be. The one that comes after this, however, nice. Love me some Paladin crits. Something that I did not show you guys, it was when I was doing some... Come on, Kent, really? When I was doing battle preparations, it was pointed out to me that I have not been making use of my stat boosting items. And the reason for that is because I really didn't feel like I needed them. To be honest, this particular mode of the game, Ellawood Normal Mode, is not remotely difficult in most respects, so... as you noticed, I've not really been having difficulties with killing anything or clearing chapters or having a lot of characters die, so I didn't feel all that necessary. That being said, there was a little bit of, I guess, not hiccups, but just some extra stats that I think certain characters needed boosting, so I did give a lot of those away. For example, I gave Wallace a secret book and a speed wings, so his skill and his speed are a little better. If anybody needs more speed, it's Wallace. It's only 10 right now, but honestly, 10's enough to not get doubled himself. And he might get the occasional double against really, really slow enemies like other generals. Okay, we can move one below Elwood and be fine. And not get boltinged. So I did give him that. And I also gave my other secret book to Dart. I know I already fed him one, but his skill is just so bad. He has the worst skill growth in the game at 20%, so I gave him another book. He's at 15 skill. He probably won't need much more than that, honestly, to mercilessly kill everything in sight, so... Yeah, of course he gets hit again. Hopefully he'll actually kill this guy now, because he's not on the pillar any longer. Oh yeah, he crits him even. So that major threat is out of his way. Once Maxime goes down, it's pretty much Jafar's fine. Oh, jeez. Thankfully, Lucius is fast enough to not get doubled by this guy, I certainly hope, but that did not feel good, I imagine. Anything that isn't magical, Lucius is largely allergic to. Especially somebody like a hero. Heroes are mean, as you might have already guessed from watching Raven do what he does. Yeah, so Jafar I think is going to be fine. He's going to hop on that pillar next turn and shred some mage. He might actually hop on the pillar and heal again, now that his HP is getting to another questionable level. Oh, you get back here with that! Yeah, he's going to heal again. He'll be fine. So what that thief just pilfered, you saw, was a Delphi shield. That's actually very important, and I really need that because the Delphi shield negates Flyer's weaknesses against arrows. So you equip that on Florina or Heath, and they no longer take effective damage from bows. In fact, it's incredibly good on Heath because his defense is so bloody high that he'll just shrug off arrow attacks regardless, even if it's like a silver bow with that thing. Florina, unfortunately, her defense is not stellar, so she still tends to get picked off quite a bit from arrows, even with the thing. So that is why I prefer to put it on Heath for that very reason. I can't quite reach that thief with Florina. What I can do, however, is bolting him from distance. Which is partly why I brought Pent, because he's amazing. I know I keep saying that, and he can probably soak a bolting hit from Ursula as well. So we're going to take out this thief, and he'll drop the Delphi shield immediately. That'll also prevent him from stealing the other thing that's it. Are you kidding? Well, that's not cool. Alright, well, in that case, I can't let him get away. I'm going to have Legault steal one of the things and then kill him to get the other. Because unfortunately, when they steal more than one thing, you only get to drop one of the two things when they die. So we're definitely gonna have Legault steal the other thing from him. We'll get Elwood in here, making sure to keep out of the quote-unquote danger zone, as Kenny Loggins once said. I'm gonna let Penn eat the boltings and just kind of heal him up if he needs it, because we need to drain that away from Ursula if we have any hope of killing her. Otherwise, my team will get utterly decimated. And I'm personally not a huge fan of that, so... Alright, let's see what we got here. We got this enemy hero to deal with. I think Rebecca can put him to shame pretty much. Oh, yeah. In fact, he's already wounded now that I think about it, because Lucius already hit him pretty hard. So why don't we have Kent right ahead here a little bit with his hand axe, so we can whip some stuff at these mages. Only a couple of them can get to him. I lied, they all can. Well, he'll be fine. Probably should have barriered him up first, but as long as he avoids a few of them, he'll be alright. And we are going to have Rebecca pick off Mr. Hero here. Mr. Guy who thinks he's a hero. He's really not. He's actually just a big chump. Rebecca's going to... Ooh, look at that. More resistance. Nice. I'm okay with that. Honestly, if she never got another point of strength this whole run, I would not be upset. Okay, I'd be a little upset, but I wouldn't be, like, you know, distraught over that fact. Completely unnecessary crit with an axe bigger than that mage to his head. But you know what? It was fun. Did I actually equip his hand axe? I did, okay. Let's get one on Raven 2. Get Lucius down here. Now, Priscilla certainly doesn't have anything to fear from most mages, so she'll be alright. I don't think anybody spawns out of those stairs, at least not yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Another thing, too, is in this mode, you'll notice nobody's really going for Zephiel. In Hector mode, in hard mode especially, they will blitz this little room and go and kill him really quick if you're not careful. So you really need to make down here quick if you're playing on a hard difficulty. I kind of have a little bit of extra time, simply because the enemy density is not anywhere near as bad, and they're just not quite as threatening. So this is like... Wow, really? Come on. 36% hit. And Priscilla will take almost nothing from that. I guess I was wrong. I guess those guys do spawn out of those stairs. And she gets a level up from taking a hit. Always fun. Alright, alright. I was hoping her speed would be a little better than that, but... Like I said, I am going to promote her pretty soon here. Probably the end of this chapter, if I can help it. I'm going to get Heath and Priscilla promoted this level. And then that'll just leave my 2 lords that I haven't promoted yet, that I can't do really much with yet, and Legalt, but I don't think I'm going to promote him either. A rescue, I need that. Give that here. And he'll utterly decimate that mage. And the good thing is I can kill that thief before he gets any treasure. With Kent, if I ride him down here and just steel lance him in the face. So this treasure will be protected. That's good because there's 2 things I really need in here. Weapon level increased. I didn't bother to look to see if there's anything worth stealing, apart from what I already need to steal from that other guy there. Let's have Raven go to town here a little bit, I think. With his hand axe. He can use it at close range too, but I do want to get his axe rank leveled up as quick as I can. I've been meaning to use the devil axe when I can, when it's safe to do so, but I haven't really run into that many opportunities. We'll have Lucius take out this here mage. And Lucius is nothing if not a magic tank. There's a bishop crit. Alrighty. Not too bad, not too bad. Lucius will easily cap magic and resistance, by the way. No questions asked, and usually speed, too. And we're going to have Rebecca go camp these stairs, I think, over here. She has little fear of retaliation from this guy. I mean, she'll fight back, but 25%? Come on, give me a break. Really? So this is what happens when I talk too much. Stuff like this happens. I should just shut my mouth. And we'll send Dart down here to provide reinforcements. Let's see if there's anything waiting on that stair right now. There is not. Not yet. But I bet you there will be soon. We'll heal up Rebecca real quick. Yeah, once I promote Priscilla, she's going to need an angelic robe. She only has 20 hit points. And that's really bad. Thankfully, I did not use the angelic robe yet, because mostly my team's really good. I just noticed I didn't get hit by a bolting. Must be a little closer than I thought it was. Anyway, we're going to talk to Nino with Ella Wood here. How do you know my name? And we don't get to see the elaboration there, but you must be lying. Really? Do you really not believe your disgusting evil mother is not evil? She's very naive. That's the only problem with Nino, is she's very naive. Well, Nino reluctantly joins our team. So we're gonna put Legalt in here. Hopefully he does not. Well, he won't double that enemy thief anyway, but I want to make sure I have time to steal that thing before I kill him. So Lynn's ready to promote, which I think is good because if I'm not mistaken, she will be able to promote very shortly. And once again, we're gonna park I don't want to kill him. That's right. Give him a Thunder Tome. Thunder Tomes are always fun. Alright, and then we're going to wait and see what happens with that bolting nonsense in the next episode. So, thank you all very much for sticking with me this far. I told you it's getting toward the wire, and we're getting there now. Once I'm through this particular chapter and the one that comes after this, I think we're going to be in the home stretch pretty much. Almost all of our teams promoted. At least all of them will. All but one of them will be by the end of this chapter, or the beginning of the next one, I should say. And the last one will come very shortly after that. So we're getting to the end, pretty close. Just a little bit longer to go. So hang in there if you're waiting for the end. So that being said, until that time, I do appreciate you all watching, as I said, and I'll see you in the next episode. So until then, this has been Seraphin. Have a great night, everybody.